Hello everyone, my name is Sherwan and today I will be showing you how to set up Asteroid. Before going into the config, I will need to tell you that the resource I am using is this, and to be able to use it, you will also need this, Asteroid Libs. It has all the dependencies Asteroid needs. Okay, so after putting Asteroid and Asteroid Libs, you will see that it will start loading like this. But you won't be able to use it since you don't have a valid license key. Uh, you can get a valid license key by purchasing Asteroid for 1 month from Bit by Bit. I will use right now a temporary license key. Let me get it. Okay. Then I will paste it here like this. After doing this, you will have to restart your server. So I will just close this, then start it again. Asteroid has a variety of features that can be changed. I will walk you through every single one of them, including the artificial intelligence and how to use it. As you can see, there are a lot of things Asteroid has you can do to make it work. Okay, but we'll start from the beginning. As you can see, Asteroid has now loaded. The version I'm using is 1.20.4. Okay. And then, as you can see, we are now able to use /asteroid. Of course, I am able to use it directly because I have my UID put in here. Make sure you also put yours if you want to be able to use it. You can also change the main command, which is basically when you type /asteroid, like I do. So after putting your UID, you can restart the server again, and it will allow you to use the asteroid fully. After that, make sure that Asteroid is enabled, because if it's false, no fake players will be able to join. This is the section where it changes the plugin's name. So if you do /pl, as you can see, it now says AFK rewards with the author Dede and authentication libs with the author Ender. You can change this to whatever you want. It's normal to be red. It doesn't cause any problems, any conflicts, so don't worry about that. Asteroid placeholders is, as you can see, internal placeholders, but it's not deprecated since you will not need to use it anymore because I've discovered a new way of injecting fake players into the G list. But if you do want to use it, you can enable this and use these placeholders. Okay, now back to this section, profile settings. Basically what profiles are the fake players, as in the UID, the skin data, and their name. So you will notice that by doing Asteroid Fluctuation toggle for the first time and then Asteroid Players minimum 3, you will see that no players are joining. To do that, you will need first to generate the fake players by doing Asteroid Player Profiles generate, and I will type 1000, for example. So then about 1000 profiles should be added, as you can see. Titan Cobalt has been added. He also made an achievement, welcome to the server, one-time command. I'll get to that later. And if you were to type, for example, /scene Titan Cobalt, as you can see, he also has his own IP, his own UID. Okay. All of these are taken from a global API from NameMC. Let me show you how it looks. It looks something like this. So you can put any server you want that has things like this, basically likes, and you will be able to generate fake players from them. Now, this is for Bedrock players. So if, for example, a player that has like I don't know, John1 joins, he will then like be known that he's a bedrock player, so it will be changed to this. Or basically, no, actually, hold on. I meant that if, for example, is John 1, he will then have no ping. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Spoofing limits. The multiplier is basically what the default multiplier should be for the spoof. This is the formula, as you can see, on online players times multi equals the amount of players that have to be online. You can read more about this. So let's say, for example, now I type asteroid players minimum 0. All the fake players should now leave. If we wait a bit, they should leave in about, let me check what they put, about 10 to 30 seconds. I will show, let me just show you that after one player will leave, I will show you how the multiplayer works. Yeah, so as you can see, Hiesat has left. Okay, now what you can do about multiplier, if you have, for example, the minimum amount of player set to 0, you can type asteroid multi, for example, 10. So then, according to the formula, online players, which is 1 times the multi 10, there should be now 10 fake players, no, 10 online players in total. So that will be the new target amount. And you will be able to see that new fake players will start to join. And of course, some players do not have this welcome to the server, because there is another setting here, has played before chance, that makes them seem that they have already played even though they didn't. Okay, the minimum I've told you, and the maximum is how many fake players can there be online at any given time. The lifespan is how long a fake player should be online for. So if, for example, it's 1000 seconds and then 1000 seconds pass for that player, he will be directly disconnected. The disconnect delay will not be taken into account. The join delay basically is the delay when a fake player needs to join. He has to wait about between 15 and 5 seconds. So, by the way, all these values are in seconds, not milliseconds or minutes. The disconnect delay is basically the same principle as the join delay, but just vice versa, and I've already told you about has played before chance. Okay, spoofing fluctuation. Now, this is a very important part if you want to see more realistic and how the player count fluctuates. Okay, so by default I made it false, but you can make it true. Let me actually just make it true. Also, if you type asteroid, you will be able to see how many fake players are like this and the available profiles. Okay, so if we now were to make, for example, asteroid, let me just do multi1, then asteroid toggle. Okay, as you can see, all the fake players have been disconnected, and now I make asteroid toggle again. Then I will type asteroid fluctuation, fluctuation toggle. Now the fluctuation is set to true. I will show you how it looks in the console when it appears. But until then, I will just explain the other things inside it. So, methods. You have two options here, basic and the player base. Basic basically changes the multiplier, and the player base the minimum amount of players. For the basic, this the formula, this is the one. You can change it here. Okay. And the player base, you can also use time of day if you don't want to use just a random number. The format must be exactly like this. Do not change anything. So the time and the amount of players. Because how it works, it will take the closest time your server is at, and then it will change the minimum amount of players to this. Okay. Now we also have machine learning, which I really like. So basically, machine learning, after collecting data about how you like update your server with the multiplier and the minimum amount of players, the machine learning algorithm will change it accordingly exactly to how you want it, but more optimized and more efficient and more accurate. It will collect data inside this. I don't think he collected anything yet. No. But here will appear all the data he collected. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention, for time of day, make sure you just put GMT. So if, for example, you have EST plus something, make sure it's like GMT plus 8. Just wanted to tell you that. Okay, player commands. So you have two type of commands, on-join commands and one-time commands. You can enable, disable them. I will start first with the on-join commands. So you can set a delay. So for example, after a fake player joins, like, let me show you like here. After 5 seconds exactly, it will execute one of these commands. Of course, if you want a command to be executed no matter what, you can do it like by putting minus 999 dot, let's say, echo give player random 1 2, and now it will always execute this command no matter what. So basically minus 99 doesn't care about the delay and doesn't care about any of the other commands. It will just execute it straight up. The chances are, these are the chances. Keep in mind that these are weighted probabilities, so... Oh, hold on, actually, as you can see, the fluctuation has changed right now. So you see, successfully updated minimum amount of players, which was from our random. And then based on our formula, the now multiplier is set to 2.5. Okay, and you will start seeing that the fake players are now joining. Okay. Okay. So that's basically it with the fluctuation. Back to player commands. So how it works, the one-time commands, is basically you have here a cache.yml that will store all the fake players. For now, I think it's not loaded yet, but when a fake player leaves, he will get stored into this. So don't worry about it. It's a one-time command. Okay. So one-time command refers to this. It will be ran when a spoofed player first joins ever. So if we will join for a second time, he won't give this. You can also check more information on docs.spoof.dev. Command overrides. So how does this work? So if you, for example, type, oh, the professor finished generating. If, for example, let's do Athena Beast. Actually, no, like this. You have messaged Athena Beast. You can also hover the text, blah, blah, blah. Now, this works, for example, when you're using chat control red. If you have like Banji activated, you can override the command that the player is not connected to Banji cord by using this. So that's good. Okay. Also, and for the one-time commands, minus 999 is also supported. Okay. Player scheduler. So every this time, which can be random, one of these commands will be executed. You have a lot of functions here. Let me show you. They are explained at the beginning. Functions. Update random item in hand that gets what item has the spoofed player in their main hand. Equip random armor. Equip whole armor and random item in main hand. Re-equips a random item from his inventory in his main hand. We also got one after command, which is init AI conversation, which initializes a conversation between AIs. I will explain that later after I get on. Okay, so the scheduler. One of these commands will be executed. For now, I put the init AI conv. I also put this. You can actually put anything if you want. So you can even make it like blah blah blah. if you just want the functions to work, blah, 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 save. Oh, well, okay. So that's basically it. Okay. Let's see. Player spawning. This one allows you to specify locations where a player should be spawned and the delay. So after a fake player joins, after this delay, he will be teleported to one of these places. Don't be scared. By default, I put spawn. So if we go here, you will see that invalid word for location key loc1 skipping. So that error is handled. You can also put the chances, and the minimum x max is because they will spawn in a radius. Okay, player movement. This one is interesting because let me actually show you. Let me teleport a fake player here. Asteroid extra teleport and a beast. Oops, no, Shirban here I meant. Okay, and if I were to break it under him like this, as you can see, the fall is extremely realistic. Wait, okay, let me just do it like this so you can see. Okay, and look, the gravity is extremely realistic. It's not a constant speed of falling, it accelerates. One more thing that I really like is the realistic knockback, which is basically when you hit a fake player, he will start moving like this. But now that is still in beta because the movement is on. I will show you a bit later when it's off. They can also float in water like this. So even if I were to teleport them like this, they will go back up. A bit slowly, but they will. Okay. Then we also have climbing and jumping. That will mostly happen when he follows a player, which can be defined through asteroid extra, and you have target set one hero, and then he will start following me like this, as you can see. Now, just to show you another thing, ladder, just if I'm not mistaken, if I do have it in this update, okay. At the moment, he's just following me. There's no path finding algorithm for this. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, well, I removed the ladder climbing since a new path finding algorithm will come. But that's basically it. The movement, the following, this is how it works. Of course, this is only the beginning for movement since a new update again, I say, for movement will come. Okay, and to disable it, you can just set JSON null. Okay, and you can also set a ray trace like this, and he will start breaking this, as you can see, realistically. Look at him. Look at his face. Okay, back to the config. I will disable it in a moment. Player settings, inventory listener. Let me actually reopen this so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Open with Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let's make this true. When the player gets an item in hand, it equips it, as you can see. Okay, we also have low entity pickup, allow scheduler feature, that's from player performance and thread execution enabled. The skip plugin allow basically is when an authentication plugin denies the login of the fake player, you can make this true and then it will directly log in the fake player by force. Show NN players. So when you go here, you see, if you want to show anonymous players, you can just make that true and then The names, for example, Jazz XN and Shirban Hero won't be shown. Okay, player performance, as I said. So Asteroid is multi-threaded. So to maximize performance, it has 6 threads dedicated to each fake player. You can make this false for optimization purposes. The scheduler feature can also be enabled, disabled. So if you don't want to use this, you can just disable it. Okay. And the entity pickup is basically when you throw an item, you will pick it up realistically, I must say. Okay. And now we are at the artificial intelligence. Now I will show you how to set it up. So for example, now if I were to type, hey, Justin, nothing happens. But if I make it true, okay, I will use for now the model GPT, but you can also use Gemini. We'll go here. You will have to go to platform.openai.com. Then you will be redirected right here. After that, you want to go to the dashboard. Okay. API keys. Create a new secret key. All. You will copy this key. You will paste it here. And after that, to ensure it works, you will also have to purchase some tokens, which can be seen here. So let me show you. To purchase tokens, you will click on increase limit. Here you will see something called buy credits. Click on this. Then you will need to purchase credits. By default, I purchased $5 amount of credits. Just as a general overview, with $5, you get about 5,000 conversations. A conversation is like 5 or 6 sentences like, hey, how are you? I'm good. How about you? Etc. Okay. After you've purchased the credits, you will now be able to use this. Also, do not mistake that. Make sure your credits are not expired. You can check that by going again to the dashboard. Usage, and here. It's okay because it's green. Okay. You have a chat way. So if, for example, any plugin denies the fake players when they say in the message, you can use the broadcast, which is this. The format, it also supports placeholder API. These are some things if you want to make like prompt engineering more easier. I will make this 100 to 100 to save. Okay. And now just okay. Let me just restart the server, and then I will show you how the artificial intelligence works. Okay. It will start in a bit. Also, this is the AI to AI, which is now disabled. I will show you related to that also in a bit. Okay, Asteroid started. Let's join back. Okay. Let me just type Asteroid Fluctuation toggle. So it's, oops, set to false again, my bad. Okay. Asteroid players minimum 1 I want, and Asteroid multi 1. Okay, now Asteroid extra teleport silicon Shirban hero. Okay. Have I disabled the movement to show you? No, I will disable it now. Okay. So now if I were to type, for example, hey, S1 icon, I should get a response from him in a bit. Yep, as you can see, hey Shirban hero, how are you doing today? Now I also need to say that the responses may not always be so good. I've tried putting a general prompt so it works with any fake players. Also good. Thanks for asking. Okay. Nice. Any cool builds lately? Nope. Just mining ores. You? And I think that's it. That's a whole conversation. So you can also define how many sentences a fake player can say, which was here, max responses. So for this one was 3, but you can make it like 5 or 6. You will need to read more about this, but this is basically how it works. Then, to make the AI to AI work, you will need to leave it like this. Make sure that this is enabled. Okay. Set it true. Good. Then I will restart the server one more time. Let me also just put the 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay. And then here at the scheduler, I will also activate the dev mode so I can check my what's it called? So I can check the logs. Okay. Then I will go back to the scheduler, which is, where was it? Here. I will set it to 5, 6. Okay. Let me start again the server. Here. Okay. It will now start again. Also, after we finish with this, I will also talk about proxy, database stuff, and finally the development. The proxy, at least in my opinion, is one of the most important, but you will see. Okay, the server started again. And now, in order for a fake player to talk with another fake player, you will need at least 2 fake players on your server. So there's minimum 2. Okay. Let's wait for another player to join. Okay, someone joined. I'm just checking the console right now, as you can see. Here you have all the info. Okay, and it started. Okay. It seems because of the delay, this might happen, but don't worry about that. This can still be changed. It's because the delay is extremely low. So, for example, let me show you. Yeah, so the conversation ends. They get timed out for 3 seconds, and then they keep sending messages. But this is just an example of how it works. You can easily change it, so no worries about that. Okay, now the proxy. Make this true. Then we'll also need a Redis proxy. So at the moment, the available proxies, let me also disable this. So at the moment, the available proxies are Redis, Lettuce, and MySQL. MySQL is still in beta, so I would really suggest you create a Redis or Lettuce connection, which is basically still Redis. I have another tutorial, which I will leave in the description on how to set up Redis. Okay, then if you are using bungee cord or velocity, make sure to change it here. The local name, this I must say, it must be exactly like the server you have. So if you have, for example, lobby, do not put lobby with like this. Put lobby with uppercase L. Okay. The storage, as I say, I usually suggest using Redis, but if Redis doesn't work for you, you can always use Lettuce. This works 100% of the time. And that's basically it. Just put the release URL here and you're good to go. Make sure you also set it up on the proxy. Okay, database stuff. By default, it's set to SQLite, but if you want to store the fake players somewhere, you can also use MySQL or Mongo. And then finally, the auto update, which is like this, which will update the config you have, config version, and debug true, as I've shown you. So yeah, that's mostly it. I've shown you how to configure this whole asteroid. Then it's really up to you. Oh, actually, one more thing that I wanted to show you is, let me get this, are add-ons, which are these, and ranks. So if, for example, when you want to give a player a rank, right, and it doesn't work to give them through one-time commands or on-join commands, you can use this. This is supported by Bucket and Lock Perms. So you can make it like this. Persistent is done through MBT API. If it's enabled, it will load. If it's not, it won't. And then we also have the voting. I'm not sure if I have a new votifier here, but let me just check real quick. I do, okay. So then I will show you how it works. Run buffer. We'll wait a bit. Again. And then I will show you how the fake players can vote. Keep in mind that these are just artificial votes. The actual votes won't be changed at all. This is just for public to see. Okay. We'll wait to load it a bit. Then we'll connect. I also want to type Asteroid Players 1. Or I don't think it's needed. Okay. Now you will be able to see here. Hold on. Add-on voting has loaded successfully. That means that now the add-on will start doing its magic like this. Since again the delay is extremely low, they will keep voting like this. But of course you can make it bigger. This is just for test purposes as well as the AI to AI. It's just because the delay is too low. You can of course make it higher and it will work. Okay, so yeah, that's mostly it on how to set up Asteroid. Actually, now that I do think about it, we have another feature called extensions, which can be used from here. You have Asteroid invisibility. So if you put it here, the fake players will be invisible. Let me actually show you how to use it like this. So it will get in here. Okay. We will wait a bit. And then a folder in here should be created. I will explain what and how Asteroid invisibility works in a bit. But long story short, it basically, yeah, it's created. So it basically changes the how fake players works. So duration is how long they need to have invisibility, and then seconds until it wears out. Self-explanatory. Normally, I would suggest that if you don't want the fake players to be seen anywhere, you just make it like this. And then they will always be invisible. Let me show you. By the way, Asteroid supports 1.8, 1.15.2, 1.16.5, 1.18.2, 1.19.4, 1.20.x. Okay. Now, if we go back here, we wait again a bit. I will show you how you know it's correctly loaded. Okay. Boom. Maybe I share Bob. And here you go. STD out, loaded invisibility extension. Okay. Let's go back. And now if I were to teleport a fake player to me, He should be invisible. Let's teleport. Come on, hero. Yep, and he's invisible. Got him. And you can use this to hide the players. Of course, you can also choose not to give them items. You can just disable the inventory listener so they don't equip the item in their hand, and that's mostly it. One thing you need to know again is that Asteroid is still in work. So, of course, there might be bugs. They will be solved. So do not worry about that. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below in the comment section. And yeah, that's mostly it. Thanks y'all for watching this tutorial on setting up Asteroid, and have a nice day.